Hi, my name is F.Brown, and I'm a public ally that serves at the University of Pittsburgh's Office of Child Development. And today I'm going to talk about professional development and how older professionals can train and offer mentorship that contribute to a leadership success. So, my first day of selection day was really nervous. Second time in my life that I've ever had to do a really big interview process. And up until that point, when looking for jobs, it was very hard because I only had an associate's degree. So in a sense, I was very embarrassed about it. So when the staff that day said that we could take our degrees off and that our actual degrees is not an indication that you'll work well for the program, I thought, man, these people are awesome. So after selection day, and I actually went into the OCD office, there was a big staff orientation, and the co-directors, Chris and Bob, told us that there's a lot of degrees in this office, but that is not overshadow the work of the people who do not have a degree, and that every person, regardless of education, has brought something to the table in this office. And throughout Public Allies and the Office of Child Development people have proven time and time again that my voice matters and my input is valid. So how does this correlate to my professional development? I was a youth employee and throughout my high school year, worked since I was 14, and at that time, it seemed like a very beneficial and important thing in my professional development, but however, in some cases, my spirit was crushed by older professionals. So some of this can be attributed to bias, sexism, and some sort of ageism, but in these age-old ways, is this the way that we should be treating our young professionals? My achievements were minimalized if I made a mistake, and I was taught to comply instead of lead. So in a sense, it taught me that I'm ineffective in obtaining leadership, that I wasn't professional enough to be taken seriously. And even after 8 years working for an organization, when the first full-time position was opened up, I was overshadowed for someone who had a bachelor's degree. So it made me really question, what does it mean to be a professional? If you're not evaluated by your experience and you're invalidated by your age. Where do you learn professionalism? Who defines it? And does professional development really even happen in the workplace? This made me think professional has more to do with perceptions of the older generations towards younger generations. So what about us today? Where are we now as young professionals, young and old? There are new people in this town, in this Pittsburgh, and we're coming in large numbers, this millennial generation, where we are highly talented, young professional people who are becoming the game changers in this region. And when we're often undermined by older professionals, this can sometimes inhibit ambition, that despite any knowledge or experience, we are not worthy the title to be respected as a professional. So what does it do to these individuals? In some cases, it breaks their drive, especially young professionals where this may be their first time working in a nonprofit or for-profit sector. And since millennials are going to be the driving force for the workforce, you can see the positive and negative implications of undermining them or not giving them professional development that they need. So millennials is a cohort of Americans, mostly in their 20s, and they are the largest generation in the US population, representing 1/3 of the US. These members of this generation are at the beginning of their careers, and so will be an important engine in the economy for the decades to come. What's more, the largest millennial generation is 23, which I happen to be, and that means that the millennial generation will be a very important, sizable part of the population for years to come. So millennials stand out because they're the most diverse generation. 42% identify as a race other than non-Hispanic and white, and about 61% of adult millennials are college educated, as opposed to the 46% of the baby boomers. Millennials are technology connected, diverse, and most tolerant generation ever. Their creativity and innovation augurs well for future growth, and unprecedented enthusiasm for technology has the potential to bring a completely different way of fulfilling traditional jobs that will actually, or was, in the job market before. So, no generation is more equipped to take this task at hand with the right leadership. We're skilled in technology, determined, diverse, and we are more educated than any generation from the past. Although we're in the early stages of joining the job market, with positive role models, we all have the potential to make a lasting impact for generations to come. So what can we do to ensure the success of young professionals? We can start by having more professional development for older and younger generations. This includes team building, conflict resolution, communication skills, and many other necessary components to making a very great group of individuals. I know this may sound cheesy, but I cannot stress how important my public ally apprenticeship has been to my professional development. Learning about ageism, sexism, racism, and the power structures that perpetuate it allowed me to critically think and assess dynamics in which we will gain and lose by addressing these problems. I've learned how to negotiate and understand my worth as an employee, but also have the integrity to be able to back up the claims regarding my experience and capabilities. I've learned more about myself than ever with the DISC profiles and the strengths finders, and I've really challenged me to pursue degrees or interests that I never did before and utilize my strengths to their full potential. I've learned how to find solutions through non-scripted, facilitated trainings where dialogue is open to reaffirm and challenge belief systems we have been taught to accept through socialization, and it has taught me to find solutions through creative thinking. Our workplaces absolutely need to create spaces where we can have this dialogue, no matter our titles, where we respect and solicit input from all people at the table. These discussions and trainings were imperative to my development, and not only as a person, but as a woman, a leader, and a professional. There were a lot of decisions and paths that I could have taken, but I ended up here with all these great people in this room. But unfortunately, that is not a reflection of the world outside. It is our duty to reach out and have our hands out and touch the world with our passion for justice and equality for all. When you take a leader in, always encourage them to grow, believe in them, train them, and build them up. And expect mistakes because we all make mistakes, but always give people a way to redeem themselves and grow. Invite them to meetings to know why and how. Encourage more critical thinking by not limiting their potential to a mindless worker, but to recognize them as an integral part of the learning process and the work at the organization. And as a young professional, make sacrifices that you can't learn in a Fortune 500 company, you can't learn it in college, and you can't learn it at McDonald's. And after doing my terms at AmeriCorps Keys and this year as a Public Allies, I have found a new sense of civic responsibility, as well as understand why, who, and what I can do. So this year has been a growing agitation with me, and in these past few months, a subtle defiance that grew within the depths of me. And I think it became very evident when the Public Ally staff and the OCD began to believe that I was capable. Because of the wonderful staff here, I have the ability to do something, and I decided that I could. Give that power, whenever you can, to develop your younger employees, and I promise you, you will not regret it. And remember, no matter anyone's age or education, we are all capable if given a chance to prove it. Thank you.